So let's begin. We'll start by sensing the perineum. It's right between genitals, anus, the central point in the bottom of the pelvis, the tissues, all the way up. From an embryological or structural point of view, you can sense for that going right into the pituitary. Like the pituitary stalk. We're also going to go right up in and through the crown of the head. So continuing that trajectory. And so at once we're gathering our attention to this place, sensing our breath around and or near or in this space. This is not an anatomical structure, but from this space, so much of our personal information originates. The first part of our pranayama is simply a 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 breathing ratio. There's quite a bit of range here. All I'm suggesting is that the exhale not be shorter than the inhale. And so as you're breathing in this 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 ratio, we just get acclimated, we get acquainted with this core, the sense of there being space in the body. So we'll do that for a few moments, so just kind of play with that. We could meet anywhere, but when our intention is to meet in the center, the likelihood of us experiencing one another's depth of consciousness, of presence, seems to increase. So we meet here to help ourselves feel that we're doing this with other people. Okay? We're not just burrowing into a cave. I know I find that when I practice with people, it's an altogether different experience than when I practice in what I believe to be a silo. And from this core, what we'll play with today is threading each breath through the core of our person into every action. Sound is part of that. Every movement. So it's really a practice in moving from one's core. Moving from one's united sense of self. So if I try to move from fraction to fraction, from part to part, I miss a lot of bits. Okay, part 2. Since this lower area of the core can often be a little bit fuzzier for many of us, fuzzier to perceive, we'll do a round or so of Uddiyana. If you'd like to maybe enhance sensing the hips, you can bring the pelvis to the ground. We'll do 2 rounds. Here's what I plan. I plan to do 1 round with one leg extended and then 1 round with the other leg extended. You could do it Baddha Konasana. You could do it straddle. You could do it. It's real creative times. You can set your legs out however you like. But we'll begin with inhale. Sensing for that core, that central most and most coherent or united sense of self. Pause. Hold. Feel the totality of that breath as it's encompassing and penetrating the shoulders, the back of the neck, the shoulder blades, the pelvis, the back, the abdomen. Bring the hands just in front of the inner thighs. Exhale everything out. Now keep the feet active as now empty, drawing belly back. Taking the abdomen, the low belly, moving in. You may feel that plunge of skin and muscle in and in toward the center of your lower body. Releasing, of course, whenever you need a breath. Now, if you're on an asymmetrically sided leg situation, let's change that. And we'll begin a second round. When you're holding the breath, there's still breath to be felt. You can feel breath in the body even if you're not inhaling or exhaling. There's many, many ways to breathe. Bring hands forward in front of the inner thighs. Exhale everything out. And drawing the belly back and in. And you're moving in. You're moving attentionally inward. When we reconnect to our Ujjayi breath, feel if just those couple of rounds helped bring online, helped make more noticeable the lower part of your core. Can you feel centrally, internally, from perineum through the lower abdomen, from that lower abdomen up through this kind of triangular space underneath and behind your rib cage? Sometimes when we cannot necessarily sense a place or it's fuzzy, we just go, check out. But even if you feel a sense of numbness or something not there, feel numbness, feel something not there. You can feel absence. You don't have to disconnect when there's not clear sensing. Stay connected and sense not clear sensing. Get it? So I can be connected and very fuzzy or a little confused, but I can be connected. All right. Let's lie on our back. I think that may want a little more love. So we'll lie on back. Our feet can be up off ground. Now I'm placing the knees over the hips or over the low abdomen so that the low back feels good. There should be no pain. If there's any ache or pain, please find a way to support the feet or the weight of the legs. There's zero reason to be putting ourselves in pain. There's no heroism in this stuff. Every time we make a hero, we make a victim and we make some other creatures. Inhale the head and the shoulder blades up. And feeling your breath reaching down to the sacrum, behind the navel. If you have that ability to curl the tailbone, you may. It's not essential, but it's kind of cool if it's pain-free. Exhale the left leg out. And feel for moving the mass of your left leg away from the pelvis You start to perceive the pelvis, the hip, with space. Draw the low belly down. Inhale, bend left knee. I'm shifting the tailbone up. Exhale, the right leg out reaches. Again, feel the mass of the right thigh lifting or moving away from the ground. The sacrum stays put on the ground. Now draw the low belly down. Inhale, bend that right knee. I'll talk through just one more on each side. Curl tailbone, only if it's pain-free. Exhale. The left leg, outreach it. And if you can feel that left leg moving up or out away from pelvis, you just start to get a sense of the body having this malleable sense of space about it, pulling the low belly down, some depth, some dimensionality. There you go. Inhale, bend that left knee. Can you feel the breath in front of the sacrum? Curl tailbone, there it is. Exhale, right leg out reaches. So the movement of that leg out is just helping me find a feeling of that leg and that pelvis, that relationship. Pull low belly down. Good. Now inhale, when you bend that right knee, let's continue. Let's do about three or so on each side. So simply continue. The movement is here to help us get a feeling, a sense. The sensations can give us vast amounts of information all about ourselves, our history, our conditioning, our upbringing, our on and on and on. And as we get acquainted with and all right with those sensations, we can be, right? We can be our pelvis, we can be the body that's located in the place we just conveniently call pelvis. Okay, less moving, more feeling. Just sensing. Actually a quite action-free. You don't have to wiggle, you don't have to move necessarily. You're pretty kinesthetically smart. Just exactly as so. Just sense. Just, yeah. And just sensing. All right, sensing, just sensing. Simple sensing. Good. Now make it really simple. Make it really simple. Sometimes our sensing, our sensitivity improves with the paring away of technique. Right? So sometimes doing less can actually enhance sensing. We get a clearer, more truthful picture So roll to a side so you can press up. We'll revisit a move. I hope you have a block and a strap. Having fun with this. So I have a loop about shoulder width or bigger. So that we're setting up to move into bridge, but first I'm slipping the loop over just above my knees. This is where it is. And I'm slipping the block the skinny way, this is 3 inches. Right between my knees. I'll show you this way. I think that's visible. And I'm just lightly cinching the block between my thigh knees. It's light. That just means that if I kind of let go of the block with my legs, you notice how the block stays put and I can feel the strap. So I get feedback on the outside of my legs and I get feedback on the inside of my legs. Double your feedback. Double the information. Yeah, I'm not crushing my strap into my legs. Negative. Great, now we'll set up for a bridge all the same, reaching fingertips down to establish heels, that distance. Now, having set your legs up like so, you may start to feel how the halves of the pelvis are kind of situated maybe asymmetrically on the ground, or there might be 1 or 2 or 9 of us, who knows, who have been working with some torsions or twists in the pelvis. This is just a magnifier for that, so this may help. Inhale. Feel for lifting that soft, soft heart. Giving it tremendous space all around it. Exhale, shift the tailbone toward the block. The tailbone move should starts to beget that back of leg involvement. And the backs of leg bring my butt up. And support, bringing the mid-spine up and the upper back up. And here we are in bridge. This can feel a little wiggly, so you can place your arms beside you like a field goal position. That may be a little nicer in terms of balance. So you may feel like this is a fin and you're kind of fin flapping in the water a bit until we figure it out. So we started by feeling that core. So, and it might not be the thing that we return to feeling. So I'll just give us a lot of reminders. We start and we remember this core. How do I feel that? How do I just start coming back to whatever this core is that Gwen keeps talking about? Now the block doesn't require really any pressure, but you can certainly administer a little squeeze, and that will give you a sense of each hip. And when you relax, you'll feel that little bit of tug on the strap. You may feel your knees getting pulled one way or the other. It's just here for feedback, so you can feel how each leg is working independently and in unity. You feel each sole of foot. Are you pressing or feeling the inner part of the foot as equally as the outer half of each foot? Now, if you desire to squeeze that block, you certainly can. And putting a lot of constant effort through that squeeze of the block might be interesting. It might create a little more intensity. So you can sense and feel your breath all the way up in front of this spine. Now, as you're breathing in and through the core, this is a beautiful thing. Feel that breath threading the pelvis to the heart. There's this breath movement, this breath connector, this breath as unifier. And does it thread the pelvis to the heart to the pelvis? And you might, Kara, feel for articulating the upper back, the mid back, kind of away from that. There you go. There you go. And it looks like it's a little freer in the low mid back. So if I let my butt hang, I might not feel that connection quite as much as if I use the backs of my legs. There you go. So the backs of those legs, if I'm willing to work with them, feel them work, can be really great back freers. There you go. There it is. And then just these final 2 or 3 breaths here. Let those backs of legs work. It's okay as the backs of the legs work, as you squeeze or touch squeeze that block, where we might be getting ourselves some more of that rotation. We might be freeing up some front of leg areas. There you go. That's it. There you go. Good. Let's begin our descent. Bring the upper spine down. Keep breathing. Yeah, staying with the breath. Then we bring the mid spine down, the low spine. Now, once your buttock has touched the ground, I think the easiest on the body to do is pick the feet up, bring the knees toward the chest. Undo your strap, take the block out, and then proceed. We'll roll to a side, and we'll prepare for dolphin. All right, dolphin. That block, just one is fine. Bring that block along. We'll use it in our dolphin. It's been a while. So when we set up dolphin, let's recall here. If I put this block right behind my arm, let me get a different color so you can actually see the contrast here. I wear black so I can contrast with the wall, but then when my props are black, it doesn't matter. So I've got this block just vertical behind one of my arms, and I only need one. Set both elbows under shoulders, forearms out in front. And again, I'm just using this as feedback so I don't start to like barrel my chest toward the back wall. Bring your elbow in, your left elbow in a little bit, Brad. There it is. Good. So can you feel the tweeze or the involvement of the chest muscles in your setup? There you go. So a part of this setup is to help the shoulder kind of slink down away from the neck so the trapezius aren't wrapping themselves around your neck like a scarf. Yeah. Inhale into the upper back, curling the toes under without knocking over that block. Exhale, press the knees off the ground. If you're leaning into the block, too much. There it is. It's just a guide. It's a guide. You may not have felt the shoulders in this position in a while, so why not? Or you can rest your head down. So pressing to feel some sense of lightness in the shoulders. We'll begin to pick one leg up. So let's start with the right one. Inhale, smoothly raise right leg up. Exhale, allow the brain and the neck to softly hang down. Now reach that entire right leg, the mass of your right leg, away from the heart. The movement is here for us to acquire some feelings, to start to read these sensations. I know it's great. It's so helpful, isn't it? And now we'll switch sides. Bring that right foot smoothly down, shifting as quietly as necessary, and then raise left leg up. There you go. Squeeze elbow in. There. Oh, keep wanting to tense them in. Yeah, it's more, yeah, you can, there's that rotation. There. Pull that. Ooh. Pull that. Set that left foot down to the ground. Gently set the knees down. And there's at least a handful of you that cannot throw your blocks at me, so I'm safe from you. And let's stand. We'll separate the feet widely. Interlace the hands behind back. Getting into a little. Now, before we do anything, so they'll interlace right behind here like so. There you go. I didn't say the back of what, so that's my mistake. So here in a moment, as you may be already predicting, we'll be folding chest opener. But hang on just a second. Because one of these things that we have a tendency to do is humans who want a chest open is kind of smash down on all these heart vessels and nerves. So what if what if we could first sense the core of our person as we sense it right in and through the heart. The heart is an organ situated approximately on and a little bit near the core. And from that sense of core, that softness of the core, fold forward. So if I'm sensing from the core, if I'm feeling for breathing in and from the heart in a softening, life conducive way, where movement is free, maybe I end up producing less tension or noise around the heart. Now, letting the head remain just simply hanging. Inhale the hands to the sacrum, and there you can release the interlace, and we'll move to standing. So if you need to heel toe your feet together before you move your trunk to upright, that's perfectly fine. We'll be using a section of wall to work dolphin on the wall or forearm balance. So I'm going to talk us through the wall. If you are kicking up into forearm balance, you're flying solo right now. I will talk through downward, let me say that again, dolphin on the wall. There you go, all you. So I'll talk through dolphin on the wall setup. Again, if you're working forearm balance, you're on your own. You know how to get there. Do you need any help? Let me know. So we'll take our dolphin position, the heels skimming the wall. First, press or exhale the knees off the ground. You can get even closer, Brett. Mm-hmm. You can get closer if you want. The knuckles closer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There you go. And then step one foot to the wall, hip height, followed by the other hip height. There you go. And we're planning to explore this about 5 to 10 breaths. Nice. Kara, try the chest muscles. Find out if you can get a connection to the chest muscles. There they are. That's it. That's it. And that trapezius neck area starts to get a little more space. Good. Squeeze inner legs, Michelle. And reach up through those inner ankles, ball mounts. There you go, there you go. And that'll help you shift the tailbone up, exactly, the low belly. Now that we've settled into the pose a little bit, feel how that breath threads from the tailbone to the heart. Feel how that breath threads from the brain to the head, or the brain to the heart. Try relaxing here just a bit. There we go. Reach up through the inner leg so this tailbone slips up, 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 up. So keep reaching up. Inner legs, reach them up. Inner ankles, squeeze them together. Reach up. There you go. Yep, yeah. Keep lifting, reaching, lifting, reaching, lifting, reaching. Keep going, keep going. Keep lifting, reaching, lifting, reaching. I use those butt muscles. There they are. There they are. Let that neck relax. There you go, but the butt works. Yes, 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 yes. So the buttock muscles can get really engaged and the brain can kind of hang out. There you go, nice. Sweet. All right, step down when you feel complete. These are just explorations. These are not, mountains that we must traverse valiantly all in one day. These are just positional explorations. And then you can move back away from the wall wherever you would like to continue doing work. That's totally fine. It's fine. And we'll stand at the top of mat. Just remembering again this space. And what's so super cool and amazing is even before this core space has even developed, there's a hallmark, a primitive streak of a suggestion of a core to be. So this is a deep imprint, a deep kind of blueprint part of our person. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Softly, the tailbone can find the ground, the heels can sink into the earth. Exhale, fold. The entire core softens toward the earth, neck, brain. Inhale, step the left foot back. Lunge, we'll set the knee down. Now let's give this just a couple extra breaths in. I'm not trying to press into my back. I actually can use my abdomen to support this space. Again, if I'm sensing space, then how do I move to support that perception? Because again, this isn't a structure. How do I use my lunge to support perceiving a central-most unifying aspect of person? Yeah. It's a little different than what muscles to use. All right, inhale. Let's bring the hands down and prep for pyramid. I'm liking black today. So I'm just pushing off the block, pressing that back knee off the ground. Now we can scooch or walk that left foot in about a foot or more. Inhale, and you feel through the sides of the ribs moving out away from that core. Exhaling, feeling that soft, that supple core. Kind of giving way to gravity. And just keep coming back to the sensing. There's something really helpful about directly sensing this information. Okay, easy, twisting warrior. Bend the right knee. I'm going to wriggle that left foot back again, several inches, maybe 6, maybe more. And we'll leave the left hand down. I'm going down to the ground. You may want to keep the block. Inhale the right arm up so your chest is facing or turning at your right thigh or to your right. Good. Now decide what you want to do with your neck. You know, in a very traditional use of this pose, we might be looking at the thumb, but maybe your neck needs a softer approach. You may find ear down or chin slightly down works better. How can you feel that tenderness, that breath constellating in and around the heart? Can you feel breath moving from the core to that entire heart space? Notice I didn't mention a thing about a muscle. The space, the heart space, is no muscle. The heart space has an epicenter. It includes the heart organ, but it is not the heart organ. So I'm asking us to sense the space. This is different than sensing the anatomy. And we can sense the anatomy in the space. I'm asking us to read the white margins around the words on the paper. We'll get the words also, but let's make sure to read the margins in the space. Inhale, bring the right hand down, set the left knee down. If the knee needs padding, please apply. Exhale, left arm over right thigh, twisting lunge. So, and additionally and preemptively, I'm going to drag a block beside my right foot. Connect to breath. So we keep coming back to the sensation. The sensation is altogether a different experience than our thinking about the sensation. our opinions about the sensation, our strategies for how to deal with or manage the sensation. Twisting extended lunge. So moving on exhale, I'll slide that left armpit down, and this is where the fingertips can go either to the ground, fingertips line up with the toes, or block if needed. Then, right arm reaches approximately overhead. So can you feel breath moving in and through the back of that heart space? The space, larger than the organ, includes these spine bones in the upper back. It includes the shoulder blades. It includes the lungs, little elastic sponges. It includes all of these nerves feeding the heart and the lungs and the shoulder. Can you feel your breath in the back of the heart space? Inhaling, let's unwind. Please set hands down, and we'll walk the side of our right leg down for pigeon. I'm going to ask us to stretch a little bit further. Not a physical stretch, an attentional stretch. Once you're connected, you remember, my breath, I feel my breath. My breath is a sensation. My breath is a movement. Then, tailored to your butt. Can you feel breath arcing, connecting, threading, pelvis to brain? You feel that breath thread of connection. Pelvis to brain. We're practicing today just making many, many connections. We're being little spiders. It's making this web of connection, these repetitions as exercise. And sometimes we just need to do 1,000, 10,000, 80,000 repetitions, sensing that something may be connected, is connected, remembering it's connected. And we can start to feel that unified wholeness in ourselves. Inhale, walk the hands back under your shoulders. Exhale, smoothly press back into downward dog. Downward dog, a worthy pose. I want you to feel the outer arm and the inner arm. Here's some helpful ways to do that. To feel or to accentuate sensing outer arm, reach out through the littlest finger, the little finger, the ring finger, and even the middle finger. That'll really jazz up the outer hand also. To feel the inner arm, feel through the thumb tip, the index, and even the middle. And with the elbows straight, you can almost feel a kind of a hugging of the bicep in toward the chest. And if I get that inner arm to kind of, to me it feels like a little slurping in. It settles the shoulder joint in a really sweet way. It glides some of the congestion away from the neck. And then if you want to enact wrap from there, it's just a little shift of the bottom tips of the shoulder blades apart. It's just turning on those shady little serratus armpit muscles. They like to hide out under the shade of the blade. There you go. Now, big question, how does breath feel in the heart space? Lunge. Inhale your left foot forward. And we'll set the right knee down. We'll give it a couple extra breaths. So maybe I have to adjust my configuration to remember to have a better glimpse of core. So maybe I have to press a little bit out. Maybe I have to shift my pelvis a little bit. Maybe I have to use some of those abdominal muscles to not let my back collapse into my guts. That's it, Kara, that's it. So the pose is helping us feel the core. The pose is here to help magnify one of these deepest, most profound structures. All the way through the base of the throat and the base of the skull. That's part. So try this, Brett. Feel right through there. There's probably a less pulled. That's probably lightening up maybe the bottom front jaw a little bit. There you go. Does that help you access the brain a little better? Yeah. Cool. Inhale, we'll bring the hands down for pyramid. Press the back knee up. So give the knee a little rest. And just drag the right foot forward. Fold. And drawing that left half of pelvis, the sit bone, back. You feel this kind of lift away from the thigh bone, softer connect. So this, right, it's your hip bone, you feel that? Thigh bone. Kind of get around you here. Deep breath. I'll let these two have a, yeah, maybe there's a, reach out through the leg, maybe, the left leg. Easy twisting warrior. Inhale, bend that left knee, and we'll wriggle push that right foot back. The right hand will remain down, down on ground or down on block. Exhaling, raise left arm. And how is it to bend left knee? There you go. So you can go way. Try not to pull you over. So you go way deep, deep, deep. There. There it is. There's a big ol' find. There it is. There's the breath. There's the connect. The whole operating system under this connection, right? The reason we can even feel these parts connecting to parts, making more whole and more whole. Remember, this whole connecting scheme is because of love. It's because we care. We care enough to not leave things hanging out and isolated. It's because we care enough to want to bring it in and have this all interconnected. There's strength in that. There's robustness in that. There's diversity in that. There's unification in that. There's celebration in that. We do this in our body. This is peace and justice in our body. Inhale, bring the left hand down and the right knee down. We've got a couple twisty items. And preemptively, I'll set the block by my left foot. Inhale, the right arm up. Exhaling the right armpit over the left thigh. Heart cares that all things are brought to center. Heart cares that all things are brought together. Heart cares that there's coherence. So we just practice connecting, unifying. We practice the very action of heart. heart never says, this blood cell, hey, only go to the toe. Do not go to the liver. I tell you, do not go to the liver. It never said that. Twisting extended lunge. So on exhale, we move again. Right armpit slides down, right hand fingertips to ground. Left arm reach overhead. Inhale, unwind, pigeon. You're welcome. Walk the left foot over, putting side of left leg on ground. Let that front of brain relax. So that direct, bare sensing can be the most prominent feature here. I get a little help in this notion of relaxing the front of my brain, the thinking part. Often just by relaxing the brow, that can be super helpful. Relaxing the eye muscles, the temple, the scalp muscles. And actually sensing a little bit back in my own brain, my head space. And you might even be able to feel that switch from, oh, I was kind of thinking about, and to relaxed thinking, enriched sensing. Yeah, yep, yeah. When you get it into the back of the brain there, it's so if I tend to emphasize sensing and relaxing the thinking, it's just as a bit of a counterbalance to our cultural habits. It's just as a little counterbalancing move to what many of us already do, which is we just do a lot of mental work, mental visual work. Inhale, the hands under the shoulders. Exhale smoothly. Let's press back, downward dog. Yeah, go as smoothly as you need to. I know that leg was folded under there like a wing, a little chick wing. There you go. That's it, Kara, that's it. Getting some space around those lungs and ribs. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, way to let those wings go. That's neat. I can see those sides of ribs keep lengthening and lengthening. That's it, Kara, that's it. Same, Crystal. That's really neat. Giving those organs and those lungs room. Of course, I say giving them room, but really we're just perceiving the space that we already are. It just, again, sometimes it helps us. I made room to move so that we can feel. Inhale the left foot forward, revolved pyramid. Bring along a block. So I'm taking a basically pyramid stance. The block can go to the inside of the foot. This seems to be a little easier balance. More challenging is the block on the outside of your foot. My legs are straightened for this move. Place the right hand down on the block. Inhale, shift that left sit bone back. Reach both sit bones back. And those inner legs. Exhale, raise the left arm. So I'm getting to those inner thighs. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, find yourself. There you go. I think your low back is less twisty here. There you go. There's the breath. There we go. Now we'll move into a revolved half moon. This is where you may want to just bend the knee, step your right foot forward, and stand for a moment, because I want to show you that there's a great way to use the wall here. You get a tiny break. I think there's enough of us who may be working with some sacral issues, you might appreciate this. So if my left foot is several feet from the wall, I can get my right foot planted. Now I look at my foot for a moment and make sure it's, can you see that? It's not pointed out to the side, but I make it point down or even slightly in. Okay. I don't know if I could show you that, but that's how it is. And then I get the block, and then I can do all this other rotational stuff. I like this. Today I like it more than freestyle in the air. So if you have a section of wall, please just grab it. It's kind of fun with a wall. So to reiterate, yep, use anything. The left foot is down. The block is near the foot. And the right heel, I'm picking up to the height of hip. And if that launches you forward, you may just have to adjust the lift. Now, if you just peek under your waist, can you see your right foot on the wall? Is it pointing down? I'm going to bring you down just 3 inches. And if that feels like it kind of pushes you forward, we'll just adjust the left foot forward. Yeah. All right, the right hand is down on block. Inhale, you can reach the left arm toward the sky, or you can keep the left hand on your hip if that doesn't quite go right on the shoulder. There it is. Yeah, strong leg. That's it. That's it. Yep, that heel pressure is one of your friends, I think. Now inhaling from pelvis to heart, from heart to pelvis. So you're going to turn here without, yeah, I'm going to block you. I'm going to block you. Heel back right here. There you go. That's a different thing. We good? All right. Relax the neck. There you go. And release. Inhale, set things down, hand down, foot down. You may want to curl your way up or gently arrive at standing. I will press back into downward dog. The great wring out. All right, there's a revolved pyramid. Inhale the left foot forward. Bring a block along. And if you want to just preemptively set up by a wall, that's perfect. I'm for that. So our right foot is forward. We're placing our... Is that true? Okay, our left hand is down. Our right arm up. Good. What would you like to do with the neck? And is whatever you're doing with your neck creating more connection through the body? Does it help the brain feel more united with the throat, more united with the heart? Or is the way we do head creating a tourniquet? Is this a possible... So it can get really creasy in that right hip crease. Because we are kind of helping and nudging that right thigh bone way back into that cup, that socket. All right, bend that right knee. Inhale, slide that left hand forward a smidge. Walls are welcome. Walls come highly recommended. 1 out of 1 yoga instructors recommend wall. We've got the right foot down, the left hand down on block. Put the left heel on the wall, hip height. And then peek at your foot a little bit. Can you see that the toes point down? Good. We'll continue. And if you feel like, oh, I'm leaning into the wall, that's cheating. It's not cheating, it's help. It's receiving support. That is not cheating at all. Now, this would be nice, Kara and Michelle. Push with that left hand so you can start to feel the ribs, the chest turning. There you go. That's it, Bridget, that's it. Now I keep sinking that left heel into the wall, inhaling the heart away from heel, exhaling, softening from the core. There it is. I'm gonna block you a little bit. Now you can still turn. And inhale, set that right hand, foot, things, everything down. You may want to walk your hands up your legs. You may want to curl your way up carefully. Just arrive at standing without creating harm. And let's have a seat. Shoelace right over left. You can always, these are pretty sweet here too, so if you want to, you can go one under each. So take the left elbow and bring it more or less over the shoulder blade. So elbow over shoulder blade, over pelvis. I'm doing my left side so we don't mirror each other. Take the right hand and just cap it. The right hand isn't pressing down. The left elbow is pressing up. That means my right forearm is like doing the Fonzarelli with my hair. Hey. And I'm reaching up through that left elbow. And I'm even reaching up through my right forearm. It's allowing my pelvis to melt down away from the heart. Allowing and feeling the sit bones kind of magnetically sinking into the earth. They're already going to do that. Kind of feel the fluids and the magnetics of the body. It will find that ground quite profoundly. And so many of these moves are suggestions toward, pulling apart or expanding, but really, we're not pulling anything apart, but we're growing our perception for greater inclusion, greater coherence. That circumference has to get larger and more capacious. Maybe that's what we're growing. Let's release this side. Let's change sides. Bring the right elbow up, so right elbow's roughly over shoulder blade, roughly over pelvis. Left hand gives it a cap. And I reach. I reach the right elbow up into the hand. I'm reaching the left forearm toward the sky. I'm also feeling the bones of my pelvis. Exactly. It's like magnetically getting slurped to the ground. But often when I make these suggestions as if I'm, moving part away from part or moving and expanding, I can start to sense where there's adherence, where there's less diversity. I can still feel where things are kind of clumped and not yet delineated. When we release, we'll set up for Shavasana. So please unwind, lie back, and so feeling the front of your body, the belly, the chest, soften. Almost as if evaporating like the groundwater toward the sky. And feeling the back body, almost as if that cooler groundwater seeping into the soil. And there's this vast interior space. Can you feel the aliveness of this space? It is not inert. There's something particular occurring in this space. The space is a unifying field. A place where we can feel and explore consciousness together. When you're ready, bend knees. Turn to a side. I will use hands to press to your favorite seated position. Namaste.